Hey everyone, having just been daylight, I just wanted to give you a quick review of it. And instead of giving you a full rundown of what the game is about, I'll leave that part into the description below and jump right into the review. Some of the issues I've had with this game would probably include the general general bugginess of this entire thing, considering that this is a fully, or quote unquote, fully polished game that has been postponed, to my understanding, like a small handful of times. So when I run into certain issues like items glowing when they shouldn't be glowing, or items clearly being on the ground that I theoretically should be able to pick up, or that are not able to be picked up, or doors not opening when I should be able to open them. But yeah, as well as towards the end of the game, I did seem to be experiencing some uh, game engine slowdown or some bugginess. I'm not too sure how to describe it, or just general lagginess. And this is despite the fact that my computer does surpass the recommended specs that the developer had released before officially releasing this game. Another issue I've had was that this game tends to be slightly confusing, as the dialogue sometimes prompts you to look for things when you shouldn't be looking for certain items. That was my main issue with the prison level, where the I found the sixth and final note, which would unlock the vigil, and this was essentially all done right before I fully understood the game, and yeah, so it creates some slight confusion as far as that's concerned. Though that's somewhat subjective, but yeah, just but which isn't quite subjective is how the levels have been set up. Though it does add to the replayability that the level would be randomly generated, kind of like how that added to Diablo 1 and 2 and their replayability. In a horror game like this, it kind of seems more annoying than actually addictive, in the sense that uh, a lot of these notes are randomly generated as well. So, so in some levels, some of these level designs, entire rooms may be completely useless and unused for the duration of the level, and with where they're located, they may actually just be out there to confuse and essentially just scare the shit out of you, which in hindsight may actually add to the game, as it probably does set up the environment properly, but it's somewhat troublesome when an entire prison cell will be created, and entire prison rows will be created just to mess with you and essentially frustrate you. I know personally, had to take a break from the game for about a week or two, just because I nearly beaten the prison level like a few times, but I just for the life of me couldn't find where the sigil was. And this was before I understood that the sigil was actually the item in the safe room. But yeah, what I did think this game did right was the scares to a degree. It does make good use of the jump scare entire routine, which from some of you may not be too scary, but this is my first horror game arguably my first horror game that I ever played. And for an indie game, it'll have to do, because, yeah. And also, graphically, this game is pretty, well, just generally, that's the only way I can describe it, is actually say that it's pretty, because these days everyone seems to be on the 8-bit or 16-bit bandwagon when it comes to indie games. Uh, the levels were randomly generated. Clues show up at random, like well, or placed randomly. So that definitely added to the addictiveness. If you're a fan of, like I mentioned before, Diablo 2, or Diablo 3 after they fixed the game, you would probably appreciate that in the sense, since in between my break, I did play this randomly without streaming, just to see where the heck I was going wrong. But yeah, that's all. What other issues I had with this game, issues I realized I had with this game is that it is pretty uh, similar to, let's say, Slender, because essentially each level is like just you collecting pieces of paper, which and trying to avoid these so-called shadows, which I actually call witches, because they're like short little little girls, kind of like River from Firefly, appearing behind you and just completely freaking out. And also I don't want to give you too many spoilers, but there are little well, basically towards the end of the game, there's acknowledgement to the fact that there has been witches in this. Well, people that have been accused of being witches, I should say, in this game, or held in this prison slash hospital. Anyways, the game is addictive, well, addictive enough for you to finish the game and to justify the cost to a degree. Like, I personally paid $10 for this game. I say that's roughly a good price to be paying for it. Though I do recommend picking it up during when it might be slightly cheaper, because the game is fairly short, though addictive. Uh, yeah, that's all I can say. It is addictive, and it may get you to come, which may motivate you to play more, but like through a second time. But the scare jumps do get pretty. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Predictable. Predictable. It does get pretty predictable, as well as some of the dialogue is not that great, considering that a lot of it doesn't make sense at times, as well as the fact that sometimes it will confuse you. Anyways, as far as rank this game would go, I'd probably say 3 out of 5 stars if we want to do it on that scale. But yeah, as far as recommendations go, I would say this would be a buy that you probably want to pick up. Though with disclaimer to get it during the summer sale or during a random weekend or midweek sale for maybe I'd say $7.50 to $5. That price range. Anything more would be kind of pushing it. Maybe $10 depending on like your personality, but yeah, my definite recommendation would be, if you choose to buy it, definitely try to get between $7.50 and $5. Anyway, see ya.